Welcome back, Olivier. How are you, buddy? Great to have you back. I'm going to ask you to unmute so we could hear words of wisdom and pearls of wisdom. How are you, Olive? How are you?
Hi, Dale. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear. Welcome back. What's it been, about 3 months or so since we last talked?
Yes.
What has changed?
My account went up.
Your account. That's a great one. All right, so that's ever changing, huh?
I couldn't miss this opportunity if you ask that way. What do I need to click?
You see the green share
my
button?
Screen. Just 1 second. Can you see it?
That's one of the best answers I've heard in a long time. Okay, so I know I know you were, pretty much a bull, except when things were, giving you negative signals, but you were constructive the market the last time. So your account has changed for the better. Is that during this melt up? Am I guessing right?
Yeah, I'm still expecting a melt up. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we've got Nvidia up there.
Yeah. I still don't know how to annotate these charts, but the problem is if I annotate them, I need another software, and then with Zoom, it's going to be too complicated. So we're
okay. Well, you could use your cursor to point out.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a big problem.
You can also use Zoom to annotate.
Pardon?
You can also use Zoom to annotate. Zoom has an annotate function.
Where?
Just go to the drop-down panel that you can see when you share the screen, and one of the buttons there has to do with annotation. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's not that there are many options. You'll find it.
Just drew a line.
How do I remove that?
There is within the same menu, there is like erase all drawings kind of thing.
Is there a freehand tool?
Whatever you see there, I mean, it's rather limited, but still, enough to do them.
Okay. So okay. Well, can you see the annotation?
Yes.
Okay,
we can.
So basically, I think we did the interview. I initially bought here, and I think we did the interview somewhere here. I don't remember exactly. And I was basically just a quick summary. I was saying.
Go ahead, take a victory lap.
Huh?
Go ahead, take your victory lap.
No, I mean, it's just a recap of what we talked about.
Yeah, I know.
Last time. So basically the idea was that I was thinking there was a shift away from Tesla to Nvidia, and so far it has played out. Now, Tesla might be back in play. I actually hold onto Nvidia until I think somewhere here, and I bought back somewhere here. So I avoided holding through earnings, and I wanted to see how the stock reacted to earnings. And then after strength re-emerged, I bought back into Nvidia.
Is it one of the leaders in the semiconductor group? Is it in the SMH?
I would assume so. I mean, it has a market cap of 550 billion now, so it's probably it's in the SMH and probably also in the Nasdaq 100, I would assume. So I would say with Taiwan Semiconductor, TSM, these two are the biggest players. And the story with Nvidia is that it's the AI king. So everything or everybody who thinks that or believes that AI is going to be the next big thing, Nvidia is going to be, that would be assuming the bull market goes on, if we see a bear market, then obviously everything's going to get dragged down. But again, I think we're, it's, zero interest rate environment.
Semiconductor shortage. Are they taking advantage of the shortage by having more production than its peers?
That's a fundamental question. I'm not. I have absolutely no idea. I stick with the charts, and the charts tell me if something is in demand or not. And you just talked about, you know, gold. Why everybody's expecting to gold to, that was the previous interview you just did. And you know, and the thing is, you watch price, gold is not moving, or mining stocks or whatever.
Yeah, they don't.
And then you don't touch them, you know, until they start moving, and then you avoid all the assumptions about anything related to fundamentals. So that's the way I play it. So
well, it's really been the big cap tech, mega cap tech that's really led the way here the last couple of months. The FANGs, the MAGAs.
Yes, but I see a switch, and you know,
another rotation coming out of them into what?
Into more like mid cap, smaller cap stuff. I mean, I'm not saying micro cap stuff, but you know, stuff like
in the Russell 2000, those kind of.
Yes and no. I'm more like, you know, what kind of market cap, and I would say everything between 10 and 20 billion. That's starting to catch a bid. And if we see a melt up phase, you know, the more aggressive stock, the stuff that is perceived to be more risky is going to catch more of a bid. And then I think if we, and again, my melt up scenario is like, I'm expecting, you know, the strong seasonal period, as in November, December, January, possibly so February, to really, you know, where things could really heat up. You know, that doesn't mean we cannot see a correction beforehand, but I think that.
I mean, aren't we already in a melt up, Olivier? It's not like we're waiting for a melt up to begin. I mean, if you look at the chart, pretty parabolic on the indexes.
Well, the indexes, but most people, I would assume, if you read what's happening on Twitter, etc.,
they're nervous. They're bearish.
They're bearish, and they haven't made as much money as the indices would suggest. So basically what we've been seeing is a very choppy sideways market, and only the best stock pickers have really benefited from this, let's call it run up.
Ever hear of this guy, Olivier Tischendorf? Would you put him in that category as one of the best stock pickers out there on FinTwit?
I'm not going to comment on I mean, it's everything is out there. You can see what stocks I'm trading, and so yeah. I mean, I just want to talk about you know, the bad pick. How do I get back to? I need to remove that first.
You could do a new share if it's on a different screen, or
no, it's because of. Can you see the new chart?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Okay, so that was also,
Silver
you know,
stock.
I was like hedging myself. You know, Nvidia and FA.C.E, those were the two big stocks we discussed last time. I don't remember. It probably was around here, and I was like. Maybe this is an ABC pattern in the making. And then when the stock got down here, that was game over for me. And then I sold my position. So it's basically, you know, I can be super bullish on something, but when the facts change, I change my mind, and that's it. And so there's not much else to say. And again, you know, going back to what I just said, or what you were talking about with regards to gold beforehand. You know, I can be as bullish as I want.
Change in a day if your contingency is negated.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's now trending below, trading or living below the moving averages here. You know, you know, you can be bullish, but the chart tells me don't touch it, and that's it, and that's what I do. You know, I don't trade against the charts, so to speak. And going back to your question with regards to stock picking, again, this is a semi-log scale or even log scale. I don't know how to change that here with that software. So where's the annotation tool?
Yeah, wow, what a move.
Exactly. And the thing is,
was this an IPO, a fairly new
yeah,
stock?
actually this is where the chart started
Okay.
trading. I think
Never looked back from the IPO price. That's unusual. Usually we start out at some type of high and then it sells off in the kind of discovery stage where people are doing due diligence on it. But this one,
that's the complete trading history. You see. Yeah, that's. I think we talked about that with Fastly in our first interview. The best way to trade IPOs is to basically wait until they have a trading history of 10 months, 12 months, 14 months, and then this the due diligence phase is over, and you can see that here with the with this move here. So basically, you have two moves that created two big gaps, and this was too early here because we have a trading history of, let's say, roughly, I'm drawing here in the timeline here, so maybe 3 months or something like that. So this is too early for a sustained breakout like that to the upside, right? And then the stock settles down, or the charts, or the volatility contracts. Although, make no mistake, this is huge volatility, and then. To me, this is, I talked about that I talk about this stuff in more detail in my premium videos. This to me is the confirmation of this good news here. So there's good news. And then,
were they earnings report, Olivier?
Yeah, that's earnings related gaps to the upside. Yeah. And now this is, many doubters, but again, this is raw power, as I like to call it. This is RSI strength, and this is typically when whenever the RSI crosses the 70 line here. You can't see it because it's covered here, but this is the 70 line. This is when beginning traders, I don't know where exactly, somewhere here, probably with a gap here, and I often get this question, when do you buy, and I always say I buy the first day when the stock gaps up. And actually, I don't want to get the best price, at least I usually don't want to. I want to see if
let me ask you this.
If it closes at the high, and then I buy. Go ahead.
Okay, so you wait for the close, okay? Because you could have gap openings
exactly
that the gap ends up not remaining intact by the end of the day, and I see you usually using daily charts. So,
I like to buy 10 minutes into the close, because then it's pretty obvious if we get a white candle, and I want the stock to trade near the high of the day, because that indicates that that there's strong demand. So we had a kind of hammer candle, and the problem here was that the market was very, very weak, and so that was additional incentive for me or an additional reason for me to wait for the end of the trading day to see how this big gap. If it would hold, even in the face of a weak market, and then you see the result here. And again, this is very, very difficult. I would not recommend initiating a position here, but this is maybe we get a melt up, and melt up in this case I would define it as pick these kind of levels here with a volume. So basically, I would say if we get volume that matches or exceeds this, maybe if we get a volume bar that exceeds or matches this level here, plus maybe another gap up, that would be something where I would at least take partial profits.
Okay.
But this is not what I want to give you or present you for your viewers, because this is, you know, one could argue for this to already have made its move. I don't believe it, but I want to show you stuff where your listeners and everybody who watches the video can really benefit from. It's something I've talked about in my latest premium video, and it's basically as if you were a subscriber now. This is the stuff I need to remove.
Another semiconductor.
Yep. I don't know how to remove it.
There, you're doing it.
I just need to click until everything is gone. Okay, so I'm gonna switch to the weekly chart. Actually, I'm going to switch to the monthly chart. So micro analysis, what I like to call, not in a fundamental sense, but macro, big picture, micro zooming into the daily chart. So if you start with the monthly chart, you see, you know, the complete trading history here, and you tune out the noise basically. And this is a huge cup with handle pattern. You even see the gap here. This is you see the chart, sorry, the RSI getting above the 70 level again here, crossing the 70 level. This is extremely bullish. You can see that here when we have an RSI level that is consistently trading above 70 here. This is when amateurs, beginning traders sell. This is when professionals start to buy, assuming you're a growth and momentum trader. And this is the kind of move you can get. I'm super bullish this stock. Again, and for psychological reasons, you know, this is these gaps are what I would call, you know, catching the market by surprise. This is information the market participants were not prepared for, and therefore they need to readjust. That is, they need
look at highest volume day that day, and was that an earnings report as well?
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, I'm saying amateurs. You know, what I basically mean to say is, you know, people with, let's say, less than 5 years or 10 years of trading experience, and they're like, they don't like to buy into strength, and invariably so. The question is always, when is this gap going to be filled? I'm going to buy when this gap is going to get filled. This is completely wrong, because if the gap gets filled, then it means that the stock is not worth buying, because it's a fake breakout or something like that. And you can see the you know, this is starting to build a small bullish flag. Remember upstart, you know, the gap up, consolidation, you know, I mean, you have to be patient here. You know, this can take another 2 or 3 days, maybe even 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. But ultimately, if you know, this should go higher, you know, and when I say higher, I mean much higher. So let's say maybe 200 or something like that. Again, RSI strength probably created by this gap up and this candle. Look what happens after when RSI strength starts. This is exactly the same pattern. I'm not drawing through the candle here so that you see it, but this is what triggers this RSI 70 cross, the crossing of the 70 line here with RSI. I'm expecting great things with this one. And again, you know, this is, you know, I encourage everybody to go to their website if they're interested in what they're doing. You know, CV, computer vision stuff, also combined with AI, so that's all related to security cameras and autonomous driving, you know, cameras, sensors, well, not sensors, but cameras for cars, etc. ADAS. I don't know what it stands for, but you get the idea. Autonomous driving. Autonomous driving assistance systems. I think it's ADAS. This is where you want to buy. And again, you know, I think you know, Upstart and Pars or Nvidia. If this thing falters, you know, I'm out. You know, so a good rule of thumb is, you know, the midpoint of a big white candle, that should definitely be support. So if the stock moves below that, well, closes below that, I'm definitely out. I would expect this level here to hold 100.
Do you use hard stops or a mental stop?
In this case, no, because there's so much momentum. I don't want to get shaken out, or you know, I don't want to, you know, place a stop loss here and then, you know, you see an open and then the stock does something like that, you know.
Well, what if you see an open and it continues lower? What do you do then? You just get out at the market?
I get out at the market, yeah. If it's, you know, let's say 125.
And sometimes is that at a worse level than where you're, if you had a stop in? Because you didn't have a stop in, you end up.
Well, no, if you have a stop and it gaps through your stop, you don't get executed at your stop price. You get executed where the stock is actually trading at. So a stop won't help you in that case anyway. So. No, I'm watching the markets on a daily basis. I'm in front of my screen when the market opens for at least 1 hour or 2 hours, and then I get a good idea what's going to happen if we see strength or weakness. And yeah, so this is basically, I'm going to remove all the annotations. Do you have any questions here or something?
No, I would say a theme running through your picks is semiconductors, and along with Upstart, not being a semiconductor. You remain constructive on Nvidia and AMBA and Upstart, and even if there's a correction, you're expecting seasonal strength to begin in November and December. Did I encapsulate it okay?
Excellent, fantastic recap. I would say that I would expect strength to begin even before November. So maybe October, even mid of October. I think that's when things are going to heat up. I could be wrong, but as I like to say, you know, if you're in the strongest stocks, this is your best insurance you can have, because the best stocks are the ones that get sold at the very end. So if we were to see a topping process, and again, tops are not one-day events, you know, the tops are processes, you know, it takes a long time before something rolls over, and the weakest stocks are the ones that are going to get sold first. So basically the insurance idea is
own quality.
A super strong stock will give you enough time to get to sell it without getting really hurt, and this is why I always recommend focusing on strong stocks. So again, here this is the same idea. Let me open the annotation tool. You see the first run up here, and as I said with Upstart, this is confirmation. You know, this is the first sign that something really big is happening here. Then the stock basically goes or moves sideways or goes nowhere for what is it, 6 months, something like that. And then this is now confirmation of this initial sign of strength. And I mean, this is massive volume. This is again, you see the cross of the 70 line here. This is raw power. This is something big is happening here. This is not me, but I mean, I bought the stock. in this case, I waited 2 or 3 days. I actually bought somewhere here. because I was so aggressively invested with other stuff that I didn't want to really push it. And then I decided I needed to sell something else to be able to buy this one.
Yeah, that was a Fed. Okay, so best way for people to follow you, Olivier?
Let me close this. How do I?
Just click on it. There you go. There's your letter showing.
Exactly. I don't know how to remove the other. Anyway,
okay. You don't have to. That's the only thing showing is your Tischendorf letter.
Exactly. But I wanted to open the one. It's covered by this bar. I can remove it. So you can go. You just again, you just have to correctly spell my last name here, Tischendorf, and then you can find me everywhere. You click on the premium stuff, or you can follow me on Twitter. And then if you go to the premium stuff, you click on subscribe, and there you have a description of what I
do.
What I do exactly, what you get, the kind of stuff I'm focusing on, and so that should answer all your questions. And again, if you can just follow me on Twitter, there you will get a good idea of what I do, how I think. And yeah, that's
Anthony is saying great take on how to trade these melt-up stocks. Nice job, and thank you for the analysis, Olivier.
Yeah, you're most welcome. If I can make another comment, this is, you know, if you're really a beginner, you know, don't do this, you know, start slowly, use small position sizes. This is something I've been basically preparing for almost 25 years. And this is, you know, you need to understand why this works. You need to be, I would say you need to be consistently profitable in order to be able to trade that way. So this is not stuff I would recommend for complete beginners, but start getting familiar with, you know, the psychological aspects. Why are these stocks moving? And again, as a quick recap, this is where beginning traders think, oh, it's too high, this is over. No, this is often, if you have pattern pressure, if it's the right stock, if it's the right environment, this is the beginning of a potentially big move. So this is basically what most people don't understand.
Well, I want to wish you a great trading season coming up this fall, Olivier, and thank you for sharing your views and your looks to our community. Thank you, my trading warrior brother, for showing us how you trade markets that gap up on earnings and are extended, and that your philosophy that being in the relative strength leaders is a way to ensure against dramatic losses, because they hold up better when the environment isn't as good. So thank you, Olivier.
Fantastic recap. Exactly my thoughts. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a great pleasure. I assume you'll send me an email or on Twitter when this is available on YouTube, and then I'll share it with my Twitter followers.
You got it.
Excellent.
You got it. So it's a deal, and I'll be in touch with you on Twitter. Everyone, you could follow Olivier at Tischendorf and go to his website. And as you could tell by his demeanor, he lives it and breathes it. And so with that being said, good hunting the rest of the day. You could join the crew in 13 minutes on the Morning Edge. And don't just count your individual issues and equities, count your blessings. And we'll see everyone to wrap up the week tomorrow. Adios, and thanks again, Olivier.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.